Today is a very special day. Today, history will be made. Today, we will save the galaxy. Today is Star Wars Day.
Here we go. Your brothers and sisters before you have fought hard to fight the Death Star and defeat Darth Vader. However, a new challenge has arisen. Young Padawans, the time has come for you to answer your calling and prove that you are worthy enough to become a real Jedi. Your mission is to infiltrate the new Imperial superweapon known as the ISW and bypass all the levels to reach the reactor core in the center and destroy it. All of this will be done at prime time, the hour of code. Use the lessons that you've learned from your masters and work well with your assigned teams. The Jedi Masters are counting on you back at home base. Be safe, be calm, and may the Force be with you.
Today's lesson will be Star Wars themed, as we jump into the concept of drag and drop block coding. Just how Obi-Wan taught Anakin to become a Jedi, I will be teaching you the ways of drag and drop coding. Just don't turn to the dark side. But before we jump into hyperspace, we need to learn some safety. The Jedi could only survive because they were wise about the decisions they made. In the same way, being safer on computers is a very wise and safe thing to do. Just how Qui-Gon Jinn treated his lightsaber, you need to treat your computer with care. You also want to make sure that you save your projects so you don't lose them. Don't want Vader to come and steal them. So first we're going to be using Blockly. Blockly is basically drag and drop coding. It's just like regular JavaScript methods, but instead, it's more user-friendly for kids. So basically, these methods are in short and concise formats in blocks, and kids can drag and drop these into their workspace to create algorithms. For our first unit, we use the Hour of Code. So first of all, shout out to the code.org team for providing us with such a useful tool to be able to do that. So why we use the Hour of Code is because we wanted to give kids a user-friendly program where they can begin how to code, specifically using Blockly. And the Hour of Code provided the perfect platform for us to be able to do that. First, we'll start with events. Events are code that tells a program to wait for a certain signal. Then when it receives that signal, it performs a certain action. An example is when you choose the method when up. So first, let's start with that. If you attach go up to when up, then when you press the up arrow, the character you program will go up. Here, the signal is when up. And when the up arrow is pressed, the action performed is go up. In the Hour of Code, there are functions. And they're basically like a type of function in JavaScript. Basically, these functions are events. They wait for a signal so an action can be performed. In the Hour of Code, this is what a function looks like. It's the green block. And it's modeled after a regular function in JavaScript. So here, this is how it's modeled. You start off with a word that just says function, then the function name. Since in our program we're using the Star Wars themed Hour of Code lesson, the function name can be something such as when get puffer pig. It's basically the signal which is then transcribed to perform the action. Then you have your parentheses. This is where your parameter could potentially be in. In the Hour of Code, we don't have parameters in our functions, but in real JavaScript, parameters can be used to customize functions. Then finally, you have your curly brackets, which follow your function. An easy way to understand and remember how to use curly brackets when it comes to functions is this analogy. When you write a sentence in English, you end your sentence with a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. Similarly, in code, you end your functions with curly brackets. In the Hour of Code, commands basically give direct instructions on what action should be performed based on the event. In this command, it says add points 1000, and it's within the function when get stormtrooper. So basically, when get stormtrooper is a signal, and the action performed when the signal is triggered is the command add points 1000. So the command does whatever the action tells it to do after the signal has been triggered. And as always, it ends with a certain mark. In this case, the commands end with the semicolon, and you can cross-apply the previous analogy about the sentence and the period as you can with the command and the semicolon. Okay, so let's recap. First of all, we covered blockly, which is drag and drop coding, where blocks of code are used to represent functions and commands in Java or another programming language. Then, events, code that tells the program to wait for a certain signal. Then, when it receives the signal, it will perform a certain action. Basically, the signal triggers the action to be performed. Then we talked about functions, specifically in JavaScript, because the hour of code is based off of JavaScript. Basically, these functions are events. They wait for a signal so an action can be performed. Finally, we covered commands. They basically give direct instructions on what action should be performed based on the event. In certain cases, commands are direct lines of code. And keep in mind that functions end in curly brackets and commands end in semicolons. Hey guys, hope you liked this video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, email theCodeMatrix@gmail.com. And check out our website tcmx.weebly.com for FAQs. And don't forget to follow us on all our social medias. Links are below.
Time to jump to the matrix. Boop, boop.